Dear student, in today's class, I am going to discuss regarding the topic of the Model 4. Model 4 is concept of stability, RH criteria, and root locus and Bode plot. These are the topic of the Model 4. In Model 3, Model 1 and Model 2 and Model 3. In Model 1, we have studied regarding the how to develop the mathematical model for the given control system. It may be mechanical translational system or rotational system or electrical system, how to find the transfer function of the system. Regarding those things we have studied in Model 1. In Model 2 or Chapter 2, we have studied regarding how to represent the control system graphically. It may be by using block diagram technique or by using the signal flow graph technique, and how to find the how to reduce the block diagram or how to reduce the signal flow graph by using various techniques studied in Model 2. In Model 3, we have studied regarding the time response analysis of a control system regarding, and also error analysis regarding those things we have studied in Model 3. The another important topic of the control system is we need to verify the, once we design the control system, we need to verify the stability of the system, control system. That can be done by using various techniques. The first one is the RH criterion. Second one is the root locus and Bode plots and polar plots, Nyquist criterion. These are the various techniques to analyze the stability of a control system. And before that, I'm going to discuss regarding now what is meant by the term stability. The term stability refers to the stable working condition of the control system. The stable working condition of the term stability refers to the stable working condition of the, once the control system is designed, we need to verify the stability of the control system. That is also very important. Why we should maintain the stability means in a stable system, the output or response is a predictable and also finite. The output is, once the system behaves like a behaves as a stable system, we can predict the output of the system, and also output should be finite. If the system is stable, then the system is stable. The output obtained is also finite, and also it is stable for the given input. Now, what are the different definitions for the stability? These are the very important. We know that regarding these things, system stability are studied in the signals and systems also. The system is said to be stable if its output is bounded for any bounded input. The system is said to be stable if it produces the bounded input for the bounded output for the bounded input signal. That is the one definition. According to control theory, a system is asymptotically stable if in the absence of input, output tends to 0. Without, in the absence of input, the output tends to 0. In the absence of input, without giving the input, it should not give any output. In the absence of input, the output tends to 0. And also, a system is stable if the system is stable, if for a bounded disturbing input signal, the output vanishes as the time is. A system is stable if it is a stable for a bounded disturbing signal. So the output is infinite in amplitude or oscillatory nature. If I give the input for the bounded disturbing signal for the control system, it should also be, it should behave like the output of the system must be unbounded and also oscillatory in nature. Then this is also another definition of the control, the stability of the control system. So other definition of the stability are the, for a bounded input signal. For a bounded input signal, if the output has a constant amplitude oscillation, then the system may be stable or unstable under some limited constraints. Such a systems are called as a limitedly stable system. So for a bounded input signal, if the output of, has a constant amplitude oscillation, so then the system may be stable. It may be stable or unstable under some certain conditions. So such a systems are called as a limitedly stable system. So if the system output is stable for all variations of its parameter, then the such a systems are called as a is an absolutely stable system. So if the output is a if the output of the system is stable for all variations of its parameter, then the such a systems are called as a then the such a systems are called as a absolutely stable system. So now these are the different definitions. The term stability refers to the stable working condition of the control system. In a stable system, if output is bounded for the bounded input. For a bounded output, a system is asymptotically stable. In the absence of input, output tends to zero. In the absence of input, that is the another definition of the stability of the control system. So a system is stable for a bounded disturbing signal, the output vanishes. So if the system is stable, if I input the bounded disturbing signal, then also output tends to zero. Then such a systems are called as a stable working system. So stable working system. Now, in order to analyze the stability of the control system, by using RH criterion. RH criterion means RH, Routh-Hurwitz criterion. Routh is the name of the scientist. Routh and Hurwitz is the name of the scientist. Jointly published the concept of stability, and speak of the name is called as the RH criterion, Routh-Hurwitz criterion, based on the array formulations and also the determinant for the given characteristic equation. So the another methods are the root locus, Bode plot. So these are the graphical criterion. No, RH criteria is a algebraic criterion. Regarding those things, I'm going to discuss when I come across the RH criterion, root locus and Bode plot. So these are the various techniques to analyze the concept of the stability. Before understand regarding the RH criterion, I'm going to explain what is the how to analyze the concept of stability by considering the closed loop control systems. To analyze the stability of the closed loop control system, now consider the closed loop control system. Now here the block diagram of the closed loop control system. The R of S is called as the input in S domain. C of S is called as the output in S domain. The B of S is called as a feedback signal. Now E of S is called as the actuating signal. These terms I have explained earlier. Now G of S is called as a feed forward transfer function. The H of S is called as a feedback transfer function. So analyze the stability of the control system. Consider the closed loop control system. Now what is the closed loop transfer function of this closed loop control system? Is equal to M of S. I'm going to call this closed loop transfer function is denoted by M of S. So, or you can use any letter, is equal to C of S divided by R of S. So, the ratio of output to the input is equal to G of S divided by 1 plus GS into HS. This I have derived in earlier classes. That this is the standard closed loop transfer function of the closed loop system is the G of S divided by 1 plus negative non-unity feedback system. C of S divided by R of S. Closed loop transfer function is equal to C of S divided by R of S is equal to G of S divided by 1 plus GS into HS. So now this is called as a closed loop transfer function. No, open loop transfer function means the product of GS into HS. So the closed loop transfer function means C of S divided by R of S is equal to GS divided by 1 plus GS into HS. So these things are very important because based on these things only we analyze the stability of the control system. by using RH criteria or root locus or Bode plot or Nyquist criteria. Now here the closed loop transfer function is nothing but the ratio of two polynomial in terms of S. The closed loop, this can be written as like this: that g of s is a one polynomial, 1 plus g of s is another polynomial. The closed loop transfer function is nothing but the ratio of two polynomial in S domain, in the S domain equations. These are the ratio of two polynomial in S domain. No? This is equal to the denominator polynomial. The denominator polynomial of the closed loop transfer function is called as a characteristic equation of the system. The characteristic equation of the system. Therefore, now we should remember 1 plus GS into HS is called as a characteristic equation of the system. Usually, the characteristic equation means what? It is the denominator polynomial of the closed loop transfer function. Now, what is the denominator of the closed loop transfer function? This is the denominator, this is the numerator. Therefore, the 1 plus GS into HS is equal to 0 is called as a characteristic equation. These things is a very important. The characteristic calculation of characteristic equation. Then we should G of S is given, H of S given, then 1 plus GS into HS is equal to 0. Then we calculated, that is the characteristic equation. This term, the denominator polynomial of the closed loop transfer function is called as a characteristic equation. Now this is the characteristic equation of this particular system. Now numerator polynomial is a b naught into s power m plus b1 into s power m minus 1 plus b2 etc. bm minus 1 into s power 1. The s power 1 here bm now is the similarly s into s power 0. Now here similarly denominator there is a0 into s power n plus a1 into s power 1 no, likewise and so on, an minus 1 into s power 1 plus am into s power 0, s power 0. Now what are the roots of this equation is called as the zeros of the system. The zeros, the roots of this equation is s plus s plus z1 plus s plus z2 plus s plus z3 etc. s plus zm are called as the roots of the equation are called as a zero. So the roots of the equation of the denominator numerator polynomial of the characteristic equation is called as the roots of the equation of the closed loop transfer function of the numerator equation of the closed loop transfer function is called as zero. So similarly, the roots of the denominator polynomial of the closed loop transfer function is called as the poles of the system. Now if I in order to locate the poles and zeros on the S plane, based on the location of the poles on the S plane, actually the stability of the system decided by locating the poles on the S plane. The stability of the system depends upon the poles of the closed loop transfer function. The poles of location of poles on the location of roots on the S plane decide the stability of the control system. So if the characteristic equation given, find out the poles, find out the roots. So the roots are called as a poles. So then the poles are usually denominator, the roots of the denominator polynomial. Here they divided by s plus p1, a2 divided by s plus p2 and a divided by, then we can easily find out the roots value, s1 value, s2 value, like this. Then s is equal to what? S is equal to p1 comma p2 comma s1 comma minus p2 comma minus p3. Now these are the roots of this particular equation. So now actually roots of this denominator polynomial is called as a poles. The poles, location of poles on the S plane decide the system stability. If all the poles are locating if all the poles now based on the location of roots on the location of roots, based on the roots of the numerator polynomial is called as the zeros, and the roots of the denominator polynomials are called as poles of the system. The denominator column is the characteristic equation of the system. So the poles are roots of the equation. No. So the poles are the roots of the denominator column. Hello. Therefore, the poles P1, P2, P at the it may be the P1 or P2, P3. These are the poles. So these poles may be located at the origin of the S-plane, no, or origin lying on the imaginary axis. So or left half of the S-plane, no, or right half of the S-plane, no. The impulse response is given by the now. Actually, the location of the S-plane, the poles on the S-plane is indicates the system stability. If all the poles of the if all the poles of the this particular system, if all the poles are the P1, P2, P3, all are locating on the left half of the S-plane, no, then the system is stable. Oh. If some of the roots or any one root or if any one poles are lie on the right half of the S-plane, no, then the system is unstable. Oh. Stable. Then the system is unstable. After locating these poles, after locating the here the S1 and S2, S2. Now these are the poles of the system. Now after locating here, we need to locate the base. Now these poles. Now this is the S-plane. The S-plane is the graph of it is a graph of the real axis. It is a S-plane. It's the imaginary M axis. After finding the poles, we need to locate the poles at the. You need to locate the poles on the S-plane. No. Now this is the S-plane. After finding the roots for the characteristic equation, the roots are called as the poles of the system. The actually poles decide the system stability. The zeros will not affect on the system stability. Now here the poles of the stability of the system decided by the poles of the system. After locating the now need to find out the poles of the system. Now all the poles of the system is left half of the S-plane. All the here this is the stability stable low if unstable low. If all the roots of the characteristic equation are lying on the left half of the S-plane, now after locating the poles, so now if the poles P1 is locating here, oh, P2 is locating here, P2 is locating here, oh, P3 is locating here, oh. If all the poles are lying on the left half of the S-plane, no, then the system is stable. Oh. If any one roots are lying on the right half of the S-plane, no, if some P1, P2, P3, and P4, if P4 is lying on the right half of the S-plane, then the given system is unstable. Oh. The given system is unstable. Oh. Based on the location of the poles on the S-plane, now the S-plane is the graph of the real axis, is the imaginary real axis, so is negative real axis, so is a negative imaginary axis, so positive imaginary axis. So if some of the roots are lying on the, it may be the P1, P2, P3, these are the poles of the system. These roots may be lying on the S-plane. These roots may be, it may be lying on the the roots may be lying on the this imaginary axis, or it may be lying on the the negative real axis, so or imaginary axis, so or complete or left half of the S-plane or right half of the S-plane, but based on the location of the poles of the system, the system stability depends upon the location of the poles on the S-plane decide this system stability. Now, if all the poles are, the poles may be at the origin, or lying on the negative real axis, or maybe imaginary axis, or it may be on the imaginary axis. So, based on this, we can analyze the system. That in order to analyze the roots of the characteristic equation of a control system decide the nature of stability of the system. Though the mathematical condition to analyze the stability of the control system is The control system is said to be stable if all the roots of the characteristic equations are negative. In order to, now what is the mathematical condition? The mathematical condition to analyze the stability of the control systems are, the control system is said to be stable if all the roots of the characteristic equations are negative real parts, negative real numbers, or complex number with, if S1 is a root, if roots of the characteristic equation is -2, S1, then this -2 is locating here, now -2. Then the given system is stable. If the characteristic equation has the two roots, so then -2 and -3. -3 is also locating here. Therefore, this is the -3. Then the given system is stable. If all the characteristic equation, the mathematical condition to analyze the stability of the control systems are, the control system is said to be stable if all the roots of the characteristic equation are negative. Here the negative root. So if all the roots of the characteristic equations are a negative real number, so negative real number, so then automatically stable. Because if it is negative real number, then automatically these are locating on the left half of the S-plane, then the system is stable. Or if it is a S3, there is a -2 plus J3. -3 is equal to -2 is a negative real part. Now real part, this is imaginary part. The control system is said to be stable if all the roots of the characteristic equation are negative real numbers or complex numbers with negative real part. -2, now this root can be located here. Here the -2 means here there is a -1, no, here -2, therefore -2 plus 3. Now this is the root lying on the left half of the S-plane. Then this is the condition. So the mathematical condition to analyze the stability, if the control system is said to be stable, all the roots of the characteristic equations are the negative real numbers, so or complex numbers with a negative real part. So the control system is unstable if any one of these roots. So instead of -2, if it is +2, then automatically lies on -2 here. This is -1. Now this is the pole. The first pole is S1 is locating here. Therefore, the control system is said to be unstable if any one or more roots of the characteristic equations are positive real numbers or complex number with the positive real part. Then also, if the characteristic equation is a third order equation, then there are three roots. This is first root, second root, and third root. If all the roots of the characteristic equations are the negative real part, then the system is unstable. If any one roots of the characteristic equation have a positive real part or complex number with positive real part, then the system is automatically unstable. These things are very important because when they analyze this system stability by using RH criteria or root locus, so these things we should remember. The control system. Now, what are the another mathematical condition to analyze the stability of the control system is, a control system is said to be just as stable or limitedly stable if any one or more roots of the characteristic equations are the 0. Some of the roots are 0. S1 is equal to 0. Here S1 is equal to 0. S2 is equal to -3. Some of the roots are 0. Then the one of the root is locating here at the origin. No. Then such a systems are called as a limitedly stable system. Control system is said to be limitedly if some of the roots are lying on the origin of the S-plane. Then such a systems are called as a limitedly stable system. If any one root are lying on the origin or more number of roots are lying on the origin, then such a systems are called as a limitedly stable system. So R limitedly are lying on the negative, lying on the j omega axis. So then also it is called as a limited. We can't say that it may be stable system or unstable system. So hence it is called as a limitedly stable system. So these these things are very important. So in the next topic I'm going to discuss when I come across the RH criteria. Once I'm going to analyze, once again I'm going to explain regarding the analysis of the stability, by using RH criteria. Now to analyze the system stability by using RH criteria, I'm going to discuss in next session. Thank you for listening.